So the other kind of interest is the most typical example of a geometric sequence in real life. And the way that we think about compound interest is that you pay money on all of the money that you currently owe. So after the first year, you have borrowed your amount of money, and then what you have to pay back is all of that money plus interest on that amount of money. So the 1 plus R is basically saying it's 100% plus the amount of interest. So in the second year, I'm going to have to pay back all of this money plus the interest on this money. So I'm going to pay 100% of all of that money and interest on all of that money. So here's all of that money. And then all of this I have to pay back, so 100% plus the interest rate on that. Well, of course, this simplifies to become the initial amount of money borrowed times 1 plus R squared. So this first line is just the simple interest, the balance of simple interest. That if I expanded that, I would get PO plus PR, P naught times R, so the balance plus the interest. But now in this next year, I'm paying interest on the interest. So at the end of the third year, I'm going to have my initial amount that I borrowed, 100% of that plus the interest on that, and then on that new amount, 100% plus interest, and then on that amount, again, 100% plus interest, which simplifies to 1 plus R cubed. So then at the end of the nth year, I'm going to have paid interest n times. So P sub n is going to be P naught times 1 plus R to the n. So notice that again, it's slightly different. When I write it out this way, it's different than my geometric sequence formula, which has the n minus 1, because now I'm saying my initial amount of money is at time 0, not saying that that's my first term. So if I go back and say that this is my time, if instead I labeled it as term number, all of this would have to increase by 1, which would then mean this would have to decrease by 1, like we saw with our sigma. But in general, we say that our annually compounded interest formula is that our principal amount is the initial balance times 1 plus R to the number of years that we have borrowed money. This formula is for annual interest rates, or interest that is compounded annually. So that's annually compounded interest.